Hello, everyone. Renee again. Well, today I would like to discuss something that's pretty serious that's going on, within me, around me, while I'm pregnant. And I'm not gonna lie, it's already one of those subject matters that's it's tough when you're not pregnant, but it's a lot even more when you're pregnant, and that's mental illness. That's something that's a very touchy subject in the Afrocentric community. We plenty of people have already mentioned and made platforms. I'm just gonna reiterate. Yeah, it's a condemned thing. One thing about Afrocentric melanin people, we was built to be made tough. Why you think they enslaved us and made us work like workhorses? Because we have it in us to be just tough beings, not for other people uses, but just in general. That's part of our DNA. And one of those things that we deal with is being tough mentally. Even if we're breaking down, stuff is traumatizing us and hindering us and putting a stain on our lives as we move forward. It's a heavy subject that we don't address and deal with. One thing that I deal with in my mental illness is I've been diagnosed as manic bipolar. For those who don't understand that, very simple. Bipolar is basically a person whose emotions is extremely high and extremely low. Meaning, if when you're happy, you just like you want to conquer the world and be on billboards and probably even climb one. That's how happy you are. And then when you're down, it's just like it's not like just, well, that kind of hurt. It's more like, oh my God, it's devastating. Like you feel like you can't breathe. You start wanting to have anxiety and panic attacks and want to lose your mind. And it's just like, it's truly devastating to you. And then what makes it manic is when, for me, those extremes, I express my extremes through negativity and anger when I'm mad. Like, I don't be, sitting there crying when I'm super depressed or upset or bothered. I want to, you know, get rid of something or someone's permanently, like forever. That's how I feel. And yeah, and that was triggered. That's not something I always had since, adolescence or childhood, whatever. It's something that kind of became or, was brought out of me through a traumatic situation. And my traumatic situation was, you know, I had a job that I loved so much. I used to be a first responder for my local fire department back home. And I was, I think personally I was doing an excellent job. And, I was on top of things. And it came to a point where, the people that I worked with, my colleagues, my superiors, first of all, melanin is a real thing, and it's real at how it just threatens people. Let me say that. So it had a lot to do with my melanin, and it had a lot to do with the fact that I'm a female. And at the time, I was in my mid 30s. I was like 35, and it was like, I'm a, as a Leo person, if you haven't figured it out already, as a Leo person, I'm very flexible at taking stuff off of people. But when you over with, and when I'm done taking stuff off of you, you over with. Period, point blank. And it got to a point where, I did my part to make sure that, I was a part of the department, because you with the fire department that I represented, you was on probation for a year before they decided to grandfather you in permanently. So, you pretty much on eggshells for a whole year. And you gotta kind of like, and mind you, I'm in the South, baby. So a lot of people still think you should be on some yes, a master type business, especially when they don't look like you. So, I did what I needed to do to make sure I got in, and I got in. That's when, and it wasn't until I became permanent that everything changed. My attitude changed, their attitude changed, and it it wasn't working. Say all that to say this. They, basically try to get rid of me because they just simply didn't like me. And I was very headstrong, and I wouldn't let them mistreat me, talk to me crazy, and do me any kind of way. I wasn't going for it. I made some of the toughest people at the department feel like nothing. I mean, I remember I was literally told, oh, this person is so, rah, 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 that, they got a person walking around with a blood pressure monitor. So, that if they make their pressure go up too much, they got to do this and do that because they just so off the hook at handling people. Baby. Who? That same person thought they was gonna get it bossed up with me. I had more than one person get sicked on me, like, oh, they the head honcho, that boss dog rah rah person that just cuts people's throats and check them. Baby, who? Until they met Shaquandra Renee Freeman, who? Yeah. I had two of what they thought the most strong-minded, most just untouchable people come after me. Baby, cut their throat and watch them bleed out. Not literally, but mentally. I mean, out of there. I remember one was a female, both Caucasian. And she was the best friend of my supervisor. My supervisor was kind of like a little punk woman who actually wanted to be a dude. You know what I'm saying? But how you gonna try to be a dude in your punk? But so she put a friend on me. Her friend acted like she wanted to get baby. I told her, I said, I remember this lady had, you know how Caucasian people thin in their hair. Baby, I cut her up so bad. I was like, look here, if you don't get them 5 strands out my face before I done it on you, you gonna wish like hell you would have rethought your objective coming at me like you stupid. Baby, who? Over with, out of there. And that's just a snippet. I can't remember everything I said, but that was just a snippet. Out of there, I promise you. Then it was a captain. Like I said, this man was known to raise a man blood pressure, another man blood pressure, for just being so ornery and hateful, and just like he just that dude. I remember he came to me. He did one of these things, and baby, he did a very racial slurred thing. He called me girl. And everybody knows when you look like me and you're grown as hell, and somebody that don't look like you call you girl, boy, I don't even care if they think they're not doing it out of ugliness. When somebody addresses another grown human being that looks like me, boy or girl, they're being racist. That's a very disrespectful thing. You don't be 50 something years old, white or black. I mean, white, male or female person or any other race and call me girl. What's your problem? I know I might look a little young to say I'm 42, but who's your girl? Who? Literally that's what they did in slavery. That's what slave owners did to their slaves when they would tell a 70-year-old slave, the slave master, mind you, 50 years old or something, maybe even mid-30s, would call a woman 70 years old, black. I'm sorry, I don't like that term. Afrocentric woman, girl. How disrespectful is that? You just doing. So yeah, he called me girl. And he was in my face. He was like, girl. Ooh, y'all. So when he did that, I did this condescending, like, yeah, let's get it. And I got up in his face. And I got up so close to his face that he was very nervous to actually have his finger touch me. So he moved his hand. Yes, he moved his hand. So I got up in his face. I said, wait a minute. Who the hell you think you calling a girl? Does it look like I'm a child to you? Huh? Sir? And so then, and then I went and said some choice words, baby, who? That man said not another word after I finished talking, walked out that room, because we was in my little, my office where I conducted my dispatching. And he walked out and he must have said to the, I don't know what y'all finna do with that, but I'm good. Baby, let me tell you, it got so bad. People, they treated me like, white cops that kill and abuse black people. They sent me home and paid me money. Sure did. Yes, they did. They sent me home and paid me money because they was too scared of me to approach me like grown-ups. And secondly, because they were trying to find dirt to get rid of me. All of that caused some real loose screws for me. You gonna screw me over all because I won't let you mistreat me? All because I can stand up to you? All because I won't let you be disrespectful and undermine me as a person and compromise and have me walking around compromising my integrity? Yeah, that's enough to make somebody loose right here. And that meant that you trying to take food out my mouth. I had my daughter at the time. You know, I've been raising my daughter on my own on up to this point. So, yeah, I have my daughter to take care of. And you gonna take out of me and my child's mouth all over some ignorant stuff? All because you don't like to be dealt with by a strong Afrocentric woman that ain't gonna play with you? You don't allow nobody to play with you, so why are you trying to play with me? Fair is fair, right is right. So yeah, that messed me up. And that's how it brought out the issue of me being manic bipolar. Because after that situation, they eventually, they never technically fired me. They couldn't fire me. They made me kind of do a voluntary leave or whatever. And so, that put me in a hole in my life. I damn near lost everything. The only thing I didn't lose was my place where I was staying. I was living in a house with me and my daughter. I lost my brand new car I had got. I couldn't pay my bills, all my bills back behind. I was really bummy, all because you're just mad because I'm Afrocentric and I won't let you handle me and I'm female. That's a reason to try to do somebody in and cut their throat and leave them out to dry. So that messed with me, that messed with me. That did a lot to me. And now come to find out, something is going on with my child. My oldest child, she's going through mental issues where I've had to facilitate my child. Yeah, she's had to go to a mental institution. They wanted to facilitate me because I was going ham. I was out in society going crazy on everybody. Like, that's how angry I was inside because somebody tried to rob me of my livelihood. And anyway, so I had to facilitate my child because my child wanted to harm herself, meaning cutting up her wrist with broken pieces of glass, lashing out, being angry, wanting to fight and get into it with people all the time. I don't know what's going on with my kid. And that's hard on me because not only am I pregnant and I deal with all the stuff that comes along with pregnancy, but I also deal with the fact that that's my child. I'm her mother. I feel like I can't get on top of the situation. I feel hopeless. I feel helpless. No parent wants to feel like they can't get their child under control and make things right for them or make things better. That's a hard feeling, you know? And so, yeah, that's something that I deal with. I'm dealing with it now. As I'm speaking, my child is facilitated. And I made the choice to have her go to what they call a residential facility where she has to stay longer, because in the little short visit ones, she done manipulated these people, making them think that she's well and she's really not well. And every time she get out, mind you, this is her second time being facilitated within a month. And this all just recently occurred, because it's like I can't, with me having this unborn baby. Normally, I would just tear her butt up. You get out of line, you do something stupid, I tear your butt up. But I can't fight, argue, deal with all this extra stuff that she doing. And I have this baby I have to think about as well. As well as my well-being. This is not me being selfish or trying to disregard my kid. It's just that, in all honesty, I need somebody else to help me out and to enforce this. So, I've been trying to get her psychological help as well as therapy to get her to address what it is she's dealing with. She don't want to tell me what it is she's dealing with, so therefore I don't know. Have I asked? Of course. Does my child feel like she can talk to me? I tell anybody. She feels like she could tell me what she want me to tell. What she want to tell me. But, not everything I need to know. And so far that I know, it's not drugs. She's been drug tested more than once, so it's not drugs. She's not sexually abused, because usually kids who act crazy out of nowhere have been sexually abused. It's not that. My child ain't even sexually active, thank God. At 15, you know what I'm saying? She might be a late bloomer like myself. Like, I ain't give up the cookies until 17. Yeah, I was late, and now I'm 42 and pregnant. What that tell you? I wasn't missing out on nothing. Them you hot in the draws people that did stuff at 9 and going down. Yeah, like, I ain't missed nothing. I probably surpassed you. Heck, from some of my circle of people that I know, And mind you, they moved quickly and early, and I moved late in surpassing. But anywho, got off subject. Yeah, that's a devastating thing, you guys. Very devastating. On top of it, like I said, everything I deal with daily, being an older pregnant woman, it's sad that, because I'm 42, I'm considered high risk, y'all. Not because I done had an abortion or, any miscarriages, because I just decided I ain't want to die yet. And God didn't want to take me, so I'm high risk, y'all. Yeah. Me and my friend be laughing. She's like, you a Jerry baby. Yeah. Little old thing up in there. But yes, so I'm high risk and whatnot. I can't be going through all that extra unnecessary stuff. So the best thing I could do is try to get somebody else to come in and help me, which is outside resources. And like I said, my daughter, within after the first week that she was institutionalized, she got out, and within 3 days she was back on some nonsense. She like kicked it up a notch. She took the pills that they gave her for anxiety and depression, OD'd on them within a couple of days. Didn't do none of that while she was in there. And started trying to cut herself again. Due to me losing my job, I was around her more, so she didn't get a chance to start cutting herself again, thank God. Yeah. So I said, yeah, she's not well. She's not well. So I opted to get her extended care where she's going to be away from me for about 3 to 6 months. So around the holidays, my child ain't going to be with me. And you got to know that makes me feel really bad because it's like, what am I supposed to do? To make my child come home and she gets into more stuff, because that's what I feel deep in my soul. She gonna come home, get into more stuff, get worse, try to hurt, probably not even me, just go after my baby. I don't know where my child head is. I'm not scared of my child, you guys. I'm just scared that my child is gonna be so far gone, there's no coming back from it. And I don't want to see her go through that. She probably thinks that I don't care, I don't love her, I just want to get rid of her. And it's none of that, you guys. I want to help her. And it's just me. Her dad is alive and well, but he don't care. He don't care what's going on with my child. He's not going to come from Connecticut and do anything to try to save her, make her better. Nothing. It's always been on me. But it's okay. So I just ask you guys that just say a prayer for me and my kid. Definitely my kid. I pray that she does get better. I begged and plead with God. I feel like my child is under, warfare with the devil because, and this is probably something that's over people's head, that what I'm about to say, for those who get it, then, you understand what I'm saying. I confess to God, you guys, one day when I was just in the midst of my stuff, still in the midst of my stuff, I said, God, no matter what life does to me, brings to me, I will no longer condemn you, go against you, rebuke you, hate you, nothing. I am a true soldier and servant of you, God. So whatever life throws at me, I will show you that I will fight through it and I will get through it. And, I'm going to still be standing. And it's like, I strongly believe, you guys, of course, life has been really putting me under the test. It really has. But most importantly, I feel like the devil realized he can't break me. You guys, I've been through so much this year. It's unreal. And I'm still going through it. It's even worse than what it started off being. Let me just say that. But for what it's worth, I feel like the devil's seat. He can't break me, so he goes after my kid. And that's why I'm like, I recently said what I said, and my child's recently just gotten just way out of control. So he's going after my kid. He's attacking my kid because he can't destroy me. He's done everything, you guys, to try to destroy me, and it ain't working. So he goes after my kid. My kid is still young, vulnerable, and impressionable. So therefore, it's easy to get inside of her head and in her mind. So I just ask that you guys definitely, say a prayer for her. I pray over her as well. But, it's many forces that can come together and help me. That'd be great. And understand, I already know things are going to be okay. But it's just a process, and this is what's been happening and what is going through. So understand, it's a tough ordeal to be in my situation and then have to deal with that within yourself and then through somebody else as well, especially your own child. It's a lot. It's a lot. That's an example of me going through stuff in the moment. So, understand that I believe in my heart that we're going to get through it. But for what it's worth, I do ask that you guys, send all the positive energy or auras this way so it can definitely, for sure, get better with no question. Thank you again. Peace, love, and light. Namaste.